At the Orange Bowl in Miami, our score has the Dolphins out in front of the Bills by a score of 10-3. There's a couple of debates raging in this city. One of them has to do with the location of a new planned dome stadium. But even as that debate rages about where to put that stadium, there are some people in this city who are still debating about the worth of this town as a pro town. Pete Axthelm has more.
By night and by day, it can be, like its name, a magic city. But the magic doesn't always translate from Miami to its Orange Bowl and to support of the Dolphins and its sports teams. We're here tonight, pretty magical place called Turnberry Isles, just south of the Dade-Broward line, to discuss a matter that really both Dade and Broward counties should be concerned with, which is, does South Florida really deserve a team as good as the Miami Dolphins? With me tonight is Dick Anderson, former star safety for the Dolphins, who's now moved on into politics and is state senator representing Dade and Monroe counties, and we haven't figured out yet whether that was a move up, down, or laterally, but he did give Dolphin fans a lot of wonderful days. Also with us is a guy who knows more about Knights, Hank Goldberg, man about town, former sports host on WIOD radio, who lost his job when he raised the question, Miami is a Bush sports town. Hank, let's start with that. How Bush is it?
What upset me that weekend was that it was following a Penn State game where 32,000 people came to see the #1 college team in the country at the time, and 46,000 people came to see the Baltimore Colts. And I know the Colts aren't much, but the Dolphins are a first-place team, and people just weren't there. And I said that I thought it was an embarrassment for this community to go on national television twice and have that kind of non-support.
Dick, when you were playing here, the great Super Bowl years, did you feel unloved?
No, not at all. Two things happened during the Super Bowl years. One, they didn't have the blackout legislation, so if someone wanted to see the game in Miami, they had to go to the stadium. Hence, we had 75,000 season tickets sold. When the Congress passed a law and changed the blackout rule, the season ticket sales after the Super Bowl years dropped down to 40,000. We have a solid 45,000 fans that are there regardless of the weather, regardless of the team that we're playing.
But doesn't, in addition to the blackout law, doesn't the fact that attendance dropped that way indicate maybe this is a town of frontrunners?
I don't think it's frontrunners so much as in the fall and the winter as we're out right now, and it's snowing in Pittsburgh right now. This is a beautiful place. They can go swimming, they can play golf, they can play tennis, they can go out and go fishing, they can be in a boat. And I think you're competing for the entertainment dollar, and you have a lot of people that like to participate. And if they don't feel it's a top-line game, they're not going to go.
Since you do hardly any of those healthy things, like me, what do you see as the factors of what people make?
Like you, Pete, I would say conditions don't suit, okay? And the problem is, I think the area that the stadium is in, people don't seem to like to go down there. There's a parking problem, and the Orange Bowl is no longer a comfortable place to be for one reason or another. And a lot of the people, let's face it, the Dolphins are the only group that's come to Miami in the last 16 years legally. Now, we've overcome that, and we've become a great international city, and I'm sure that we can overcome all the other obstacles and move ahead.
Hank, are we ready to retract the Bush label on this town, or what does the town have to do to prove itself to us?
Well, you know, this is such a great city that the addition of sports would complete the package. We have so many new things here, you know, new zoos, new hotels, not the kind of zoos you and I are used to. They have all kinds of great facilities that have come here. The only thing that's lacking to make it truly Major League is a Major League sports facility. I hope they get it. I think that the people down here will pull together and pull it off.
I hope they get it too, although I still haven't figured out why somebody wants to build a dome when you have the greatest weather in the country. But Hank gave me this button, and I want to conclude with that. It says, Miami's for me. And as far as the Dolphins go, I'll go along with that.
Pete Axthelm, Miami is for you, and it's for a lot of other people, too. This city has successfully hosted a number of Super Bowls, and it's made a success of the Dolphins. I think it's worth asking, in light of the fact that Mr. Goldberg lost his job for voicing his feelings, how many people legitimately share his feelings?
Well, a lot of people, I think any realist in South Florida realize there are problems in sports. One of the main ones, Brian, is we can talk about Miami all we want, but it really is a South Florida thing. The population is moving north, especially the affluent potential sports fan population is moving more toward Broward County. That's one of the big debates about if they're going to build a stadium, where do they put it?
Are the problems not reflective of a city that, frankly, is having some problems absorbing a lot of the outsiders from a number of other nations?
Well, I suppose you could relate it to the more serious problems in Miami, but I think there's room, even if you do have, obviously, a refugee problem and a drug dealing problem, people should be able to find time to go to games if they want to. There's plenty of, look at towns like Detroit, where the economy's in great trouble, they still support a team.
Okay, Peter, you talked about the great weather in Miami. I want to talk to you about the great weather in Southern California. It's weather that our buddies Dick Enberg and Al McGuire are enjoying right now, because they are the two gentlemen who tonight will be bringing you the basketball game, matching the DePaul Blue Demons against the Bruins of UCLA.
Pauley Pavilion on the campus of UCLA. It's quiet now, but in a few hours it'll be noisy.